My name is Angela Madsen, and I got saved on July 6, 1983, and that was my new life began. Before that, I was just living in the world. I grew up in a pretty stable home, but when I turned about 21, I felt like I knew everything. I got my own little house with my friend, and I just began to do what the world told me to do. And I went to school, I got a really good job, started meeting all these neat people that I thought, got involved in relationships, a lot of them, and then one that wasn't really a very good relationship. And I got pregnant, and I had this amazing son. And then I began to think, I'm doing everything I should be doing, but it started seeming like life wasn't as easy as it was. And I was about 25 years old, 24, 25, and one day I had gone to church and I knew who Jesus was. I just didn't know him, but I knew that he was around and that I would pray, and sometimes things happened, sometimes they didn't. But one night I just was crying and realizing I'm 25 years old, I have a child, I had to move back with my parents, and I seemed like I had everything together, and I didn't have anything together. And I just got on my knees and I just cried and I prayed and I just asked Jesus, I said, Jesus, you have to help me. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to raise my son by myself. I don't know what's going on, but I need you. I had enough sense to know that something about Jesus was going to help me. And after that prayer, I started kind of meeting people, and they were inviting me to church and stuff. Even though I didn't go, all of a sudden I looked back and realized that God was really answering my prayer. And then I met this neat guy named Madsen, and he went to school with me. I actually was working, and he was a student there, and we talked one day. I saw him, and I asked him at this award ceremony what he was going to do with his life, and he said he was going to either go to Saudi Arabia or he was going to be a minister. And I'd never met anybody who was going to be a minister, so I just wanted to ask a lot of questions, and I felt like God put him in my life. And Chris just began to challenge me and asked me a question: if you died today, where would you go? And that was something I was always afraid of, because I was raised in a church, and I knew there was a hell, but I just didn't know how to get there. And I kept thinking if I was just good enough. And when he asked me that question, I said, I think I'm going to go to heaven. And then he said, you could know. And that was just like, oh my gosh, I can know how. And he began to share Jesus Christ with me. And he gave me a Bible, and he asked me to start reading it. And I had looked at the Bible before, I wasn't interested, but once he had said that, I started kind of reading, and he'd ask me questions. What'd you read? What was going on? And then one day, on July 6th, he said, would you like to give your life to the Lord? And I said, yes, I did. And I've never regretted it. It was hard because I had to change, but I was so happy inside, and I just wanted everybody else to be happy. And I didn't know how to really witness, but I would just kind of try and talk to people about God. And where I worked, I put up all these Jesus posters, God is love and stuff. And people, I just wanted everyone to have that same feeling. And I just knew my life started over, and I had a second chance. You don't always get second chances. And Chris and I got married in December of that year, and we just never looked back. He wanted to be a minister, and I said, I'm going to do everything I can. And I just began to grow in the Lord. And God sent us up here to Yuba City. He gave me a dream, and he showed me he was going to move us up here. And it's been hard, but it's been good. There's nothing, you never regret getting saved. You never look back and say, man, that's the worst thing I ever did. You just are so thankful that he is in my life. He's just changed everything. I have lots of friends. I've been able to share. Just my whole life has been after is, how can I help people? I want people to say, she really cared, and she really helped me, and she went our way. That's kind of what I want people to say, that, God really worked through her. So that's my testimony.